Welcome back everyone, it's time to predict the scores of week 33 of this 2022-2023 Championship season. In game week 32, top scorers, there were two of them with 10 points each, were Ferris 77 and Miro. Both of those guys came away with two perfect scores. How that affects the overall leaderboard now? Well, GKK 474 still at the top of the leaderboard on 296 points, followed by Rhino on 281.5 points. So we move on to game week 33, where we've got 17 fixtures to predict, taking place on Friday the 17th of February all the way through to Tuesday the 21st of February. A load of fixtures to predict. So first up, on Friday evening, this is a game that myself and Nathan will be at, and there will be a vlog on Nathan's channel. Cardiff City take on Reading. Cardiff finally gaining a victory against Birmingham 2-0, and Reading as well gaining a 2-1 victory over Rotherham. I'm going to stick my head on the block on this one. I'm going to go for a 3-0 victory to Cardiff. It may seem wild, it may seem crazy, but yeah, the way they played in that second half, I'm full of confidence at the moment. Call me stupid though. Next, we move on to the Saturday fixtures at 12:30, where we've got Millwall taking on Sheffield United. Sheffield United, the Blades, suffering defeat against Middlesbrough last time out, where they lost 3-1, and Millwall also losing out against Coventry 1-0. I fancy the Blades to bounce back in this one, and I can see them coming away with a 2-1 away win. Then we got Blackburn Rovers coming up against Swansea City. Blackburn Rovers now 4 draws on the bounce, and Swansea beating a hapless Blackpool 2-1. I fancy this one to end up all square, which will give Blackburn another draw, and I can see this one ending 1-1 up there in the northwest. Then we've got Blackpool against Stoke City. Blackpool now winless in their last 7 fixtures. Stoke, a very good victory against Huddersfield, a 3-0, and boy, they needed that result as well. I can see this one ending up though with Desmond's 2-2 at the end of the day. Then we move on to Huddersfield, where they take on Birmingham City. Birmingham, as I already mentioned, lost against Cardiff City last time out at home, and Huddersfield now with Neil Warnock in charge once again. Can he save their season and save their place in the division? I think the Birmingham will take all 3 points in this one, and I can see the Blues coming away with a 2-1 away win. Then we move on to the Tigers of Hull taking on Preston North End. I think this is going to be a real tight affair. The Tigers losing 3-1 against Norwich last time out, and Preston North End a creditable 1-1 draw against Luton Town. But I think Hull will come away with all 3 points in this one, 2-1. Then we move on to Luton Town against Burnley. Burnley slipping up slightly in their last fixture, where they drew 1-1 against Watford, and boy did they leave that one late to gain a point in that one. And Luton Town now back-to-back draws, 1-1. I fancy Burnley to get back to winning ways in this one, and I think they'll come away with a 2-0 away win. Then we move on to the Riverside Stadium, where Middlesbrough take on QPR. Straightforward victory to Middlesbrough in this one. I'm going to go for a 3-0 home victory, with Sunderland beating QPR 3-0 in the R's last fixture. Then we move on to Rotherham against Coventry at the New York Stadium. Rotherham suffering defeat to Reading last time out 2-1, and Coventry with that 1-0 win over Millwall. I fancy Coventry to continue their winning ways here, and I can see them coming away with a narrow 2-1 away win. Then we move on to Sunderland against Bristol City. Bristol City avoided defeat in their last match, although they did draw against Wigan at home, and Sunderland with that fine 3-0 victory against QPR. I think this one will end up all square, 1-1. Then Wigan Athletic haven't suffered defeat now in their last 3 fixtures, a draw against Bristol City, and Norwich gained that very good 3-1 victory against Hull City last time out. I think this one will end up 2-0 to the away side of Norwich. We then move on to Monday evening, where Watford take on West Brom. Both of the teams drew last time out. Watford a draw against Burnley, and West Brom a 1-1 draw with Blackburn. I think this one will finish all square, 1-1. Then we move on to Tuesday, where Blackburn Rovers entertain Blackpool in this northwest affair. Okay, Blackburn Rovers 4 draws on the bounce. I think that they will move to 5 draws. However, in this one, which takes place on Tuesday, I think they will gain all 3 points, because Blackpool aren't looking great at the moment. Defeated 2-1 to Swansea in the midweek fixtures last time out. and I think that Blackburn will win this one 2-1. Then we move on to Millwall against Burnley. I fancy Burnley to take all 3 points here at the New Den, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 away win. Then we got Norwich City facing Birmingham City at Carrow Road. Norwich, I like them against Hull City where they won 3-1. Birmingham, as we've already said, losing against Cardiff City in the last midweek fixtures, and I fancy the Canaries to come away with a 3-1 victory. Then we move on to the New York Stadium where Rotherham entertained Sunderland. I fancy a draw in this match. A tough one, it could go either way, but I do fancy a draw where it will end up Rotherham 1, Sunderland 1. Then the final fixture of this humongous game week, also taking place on Tuesday 21st of February, 7:45, sees the Jacks of Swansea taking on Stoke, and I fancy Swansea to gain all 3 points in this one, and I'm going to go for Swansea 1, Stoke 0. And that concludes my predictions for week 33 of this 2022-2023 Championship season. Make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website. Let's see if we can gain some ground on those teams at the top of the predictions league table. But for now, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Enjoy the football over the weekend and on Monday and Tuesday as well, and I'll see you all in the next video.